Hello, it is the one and only 5D Transformations. And in this video, we're going to be talking about compatibility for the INFP. Who are the best types for the INFP? That's the question. Obviously, every type can get with any type. You know what I mean? It's all about your self development. Everyone's very unique. You know what I mean? So this is just one aspect, but I think it's a very powerful aspect. And if you utilize it, I think it can really help you. And just so you know from personal experience, I've used this in my relationship dynamic. And that's why, I've been in a long relationship for over 7 years now. And a lot of it is because the person that I got with has the perfect type, what I would consider is the perfect type for me. So, you know, that's what I would say there. So now, with that being said, let's start off with the INFP and who is the main type for the INFP that I think is the most compatible. So number one, the most compatible type for the INFP, I would say, is the ESFJ. Now, let's pull this up and let's see why. So if you look at the INFP, they have introverted feeling first. And then they have extroverted intuition and introverted sensing in the middle. Then they have extroverted thinking. Now, if you look at the ESFJ, what you'll find is they have introverted sensing and extroverted intuition. So what you'll find is they share the same perception functions in that middle, which means they're going to be able to speak a very similar language in that regard. Being able to share that perception of seeing the future, but also respecting the past. And they can have really good conversation. They can make a lot of decisions based on this. And I think that those middle functions, when they share middle functions, what it does is it brings a familiarity. You know what I mean? It really allows the two types to share a style. And even though it's not the same communication style, because that's going to be your feeling and thinking, it's going to be perception, which means that they see the world very similar. They share a similar perception of the world. And that is what will allow them to really relate on deeper levels. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important. Now, another part that's unique is they can help one another. You see, ESFJs have extroverted feeling first, whereas INFPs have introverted feeling first. And then, as you can see, ESFJs have introverted thinking fourth, and then INFPs have extroverted thinking fourth. So there's a lot of growth, right? ESFJs can help INFPs get out of their box. They can help them understand how to socialize more, how to understand the other aspects of feeling. But on the other hand, INFPs can help the ESFJs go within more. Not always have to be so willing to give. No, not always be willing to be accepted, and they can learn a lot from one another. But then also the ESFJ has that introverted thinking, that determination, that duty function, that logical function, and they can help INFPs be more logical because that's INFP's last function is introverted thinking. So, and then vice versa, ESFJs lack that ability to see the most efficient way to do things or the overall objective logic. And that's where when they get with an INFPs can help them understand, like, man, forget all the overthinking. This is the overall picture, and this is what you got to think. And they both can meet each other very well there. And then finally, you have that extroverted E and that I here, that extroverted introverted balance. So I think that goes very well for INFPs. So I think that's a really good pairing. Now the second best pairing that I think for INFPs is going to be ENTPs, and that really boils down to one main thing. But you notice how the INFP has extroverted intuition and introverted sensing. Well, the ENTP has extroverted intuition first, and then since the INFP has introverted sensing third, which is about going in the past and your body and just focusing on the extroverted sensing that you have instead of being focused on everything going on out here. It's about focusing on my body, the things that are involved with my space. ENTPs have that fourth, so they can learn a lot from ENFPs there. So once again, they share that perception, those perception functions, but they also can learn a lot from each other because they have different communication functions. With introverted thinking, they have extroverted thinking. Extroverted feeling, they have introverted feeling. Now, what are some of the third, options or types that could work very well with INFPs? Well, first one I'll say is an ESFP. So you see this is an INFP here, and then you got your ESFP over here. Now they both have that introverted feeling, extroverted thinking. So they share that communication function, which means they're going to speak a similar language. They process things in a very similar manner. But at the same time, ESFPs have that extroverted sensing, so they can help the INFP who doesn't have extroverted sensing in their top four stack be more present, experience life, take things, day by day. They can really have a lot of fun with one another. Then when you look at the other side of things, the INFP can really help them see the bigger picture with extroverted intuition. They can provide perspective, and things like that. So I think that's very big as well. Now, another type that works really well for them is going to be your INFPs because they're the same type. So they're going to speak a very similar language. So these, two INFPs can work very well together. It's going to be a very chill, laid back type of relationship style. Now, once again, as I always say, there can be a lot of familiarity there. And I know people do like the difference that you experience, with people. So that's something to keep in mind also. Then you have ENFPs, and obviously it's because they share all the similar functions, but you also get to have that extroverted, introverted thing going on. So that's always unique. And then finally, you got your ENTJ. So you got your INFP. They work well with ENTJs primarily because you have the extroverted, introverted thing going on, but they also have that introverted feeling, extroverted thinking. And what's unique is ENTJs have extroverted thinking first and introverted feeling fourth. But INFPs have extroverted thinking fourth and introverted feeling first. So they can really help one another in both areas. ENTJs can help INFPs be more assertive, more direct, more efficient. And then INFPs can help ENTJs be softer, connect with people more, be more relatable, be more friendly, tap into their feelings, more. And there goes your growth and self-development. So with that being said, those are the types that I think work well for INFPs. And yeah, make sure to check out the MBTI course. It's out now. You get to find out about your type, also about the other 15 personality types. I break down how to understand the functions, understanding the spiritual aspect of the functions in terms of how each function connects with earth, fire, air, water, elements. It's deep, very deep course. I explain each type's superpower. I show what they experience when they're going through the grip, which is going through anxiety, and how they deal with those situations. I got videos where I show, exactly what it looks like. And, it's very interactive. You get to see different celebrities with your personality type, how they communicate. We just break down everything. So make sure to tap into that. You can get it on the Patreon. You'll see it in the link below. It's patreon.com/5D transformations. And aside from that, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.